wrong thing. There we go. This is our first live podcast. Yeah, a little bit weird. I'm used to podcasting, but the people before you are not. Just a second as I get my whole page ready of announcements and everything else. So, today we are playing Fallout. A game that a lot of people know, but maybe not have played. This is the pen and paper RPG 2.0 version. I found it online, thought it'd be fun, and everybody knew it and kind of had an idea of what it was about, and my brain sparked. And it made me want to make a story out of it. And so I did. I went into a lot of planning and did as much planning as I could and tried to make this appealable to as many Fallout fans and as many people that are out there who might enjoy this sort of thing. So, I hope you do enjoy this and, welcome on in. So, what should I go with now? Well, I guess I'll go with the shameless spiel, as always. If you want to help this, follow me, either on Twitch, like on YouTube, subscribe, and all that sort of fun stuff. And if you would like to donate, please do. We want to make this the best experience possible for you. And if you have any suggestions on how to make this better, email me, talk to me, comment, or do what you would like. As this is our first stream, you may full-on talk to me in chat. I have it open and ready to talk to you. But for those watching on the YouTube or listening on Podbean, welcome to the first episode of Fallout. I haven't come up with a name for this yet, but I'll figure it out. We're just going to be calling it Fallout for now. This will be loosely more based around Fallout 2 and the gritty, dark-humored world of Fallout. Now, if you don't know what Fallout is, imagine a post-apocalypse within the retro 1950s, where terminals and things along that nature were more along the lines of your computers and, it's very... It takes a lot of inspiration from things such as Mad Max and The Boy and His Dog, if you've ever watched that. Very, very old film. But I've done as much research as I can. I made sure to watch the Mad Max films and get myself pumped up for an adventure on wheels in the apocalypse. What you see before you is the four of us. Hello, I'm Steve, the Overseer. The one who is going to be controlling all the little things happening upon our adventure. We have Lucinda, Jackson, and Annabelle. I can't say her name, so I guess we'll introduce the newest person. Ashley, tell us about yourself.
My character's name is Anna Belinda. She is half Deathclaw. I don't really know a lot else.
That's perfect. Now, as we're going from bottom up, Connor, describe Jackson to us. Who is she? What does she do? Or at least just describe what kind of person
she is. The person in the profile picture. That's what she looks like, and that's about it.
Okay. And Anthony, how about you?
My character's name is Lucinda, and the profile picture you see was drawn by the ever so kind Lord Steve the Overseer. And my character is just a normal person in the world of Fallout, I guess.
As these three before you don't know too much about the Fallout universe, we're going to be introducing them more or less to the world of Fallout through this. And so we will, but I have an intro, a beginning from a little game called Fallout 3, and I think it might set the tone. So, let me start on. War. War never changes. Since the dawn of humankind, when our ancestors first discovered the killing power of rock and bone, blood has been spilled in the name of everything, from God to justice to simple psychotic rage. In the year 2077, after the millennia of armed conflict, the destructive nature of man could sustain itself no longer. The world was plunged into an abyss of nuclear fire and radiation. But it was not, as some had predicted, the end of the world. Instead, the apocalypse was simply the prologue to another bloody chapter of human history. For man had succeeded in destroying the world, but war never changes. In the early days, thousands were spared to the horrors of the Holocaust by taking refuge in numerous underground shelters, known as vaults. But when they emerged, they had only the hell of the wastes to greet them. And today, for on that fateful day, when fire rained from the sky, the giant steel door of their vault slid closed, to never reopen. And so it is our 3 survivors wake up. It's chilly. You feel sick. The cryopods open and you slump over and fall out on your face. Some of you might puke, holding your stomachs vomiting upon the floor. Icicles still hang off of your bodies in a thick, viscous slime. You wipe it off you, doing as much as you can to warm up, and you do. Heat racks your body over. And you are stood before a strange room, falling out of strange clear tubes. You can't remember anything. You are in a steel room with multiple different, how do I put it? It's a large concrete steel enclosure, almost. You guys. Anyways, 2 doors, one off to the left and one off to the right, is shown. Falling from the walls, there's multiple other cryopods. And you are left to look amongst yourselves. Lucinda, Jackson, and Benelia. And so, this is your adventure. Talk amongst yourselves.
So, awkward silence.
Indeed. As I had said before, you have no memory. You don't know really why you're here. The most you can remember is, this is a vault. I came here maybe by my own will, but something is definitely off. And the girl, possibly off to the far left, falling out of the cryopod, as Jackson and Lucinda start to get a little bit more conscious, wiping the ice from themselves. Looking off to the left, they see not necessarily what I would call an abomination, but a mutation, a creature of predatory expertise, something refined by genetic mutation. A half Deathclaw, but they don't necessarily know what a Deathclaw is. So, Why don't you read your character description to us, Anna Benilia?
The appearance?
Yes. My apologies.
You're fine. 5 foot 2 inches. Um, Half shaved head. On the on the left side. On the right side, the hair only goes down to the chin. With bangs. Dark brown hair. Light muscle figure. With olive skin tone. A beauty mark on the right cheek, under her eye, and she has horns, claws, and a tail.
While quite short in stature, she makes it up with beauty and, strangely enough, an animalistic appearance. Claws, horns, and a tail. It's like something out of a dream, almost. It's strange. Puts an odd sense into you. But everything seems odd right now as memories flash. A perfect life, perfect things, and now you're in a steel enclosure. Bombs. You can remember bombs. Strangely enough. That's right, the bombs dropped. And now you are put in here. And you can't really remember much else. But you are left amongst yourselves. So I turn the tables over to you to talk with each other as Lucinda, Jackson, and Anna Benilia.
What are you guys' names?
My name is Anna Belinda.
Jackson?
What's your name?
My name is Lucinda.
Where are we?
As far as I can remember, we're in the shelter before the bombs. Or for the bombs. Not, yeah.
Do you guys know how to get out?
I'd assume through one of those two doors.
Which one do you think we should take?
Flip a coin.
You
Does
have a coin
anybody
on
have a
you?
coin?
I don't. Jackson?
Nope.
I'm going to observe my surroundings and look for a coin.
A coin.
Looking for a coin, but
No, strangely enough, there is no coin around. You're currently in skin-tight vault suits, which are skin-tight and no coins on you, and no coins around, though.
Any other ideas? Take a vote?
or we could just walk towards one of the doors,
Indeed.
just at random.
Hitardus.
I think we should just check all the doors, see what's around.
Well, if we go the wrong way the first time, then we're gonna have to double back and go the right way the second time. Because there's only the two doors, right? In the room?
Yes, indeed, there are only two doors.
Well, I'm going to start heading for the left door.
Okay, and you head for the left door.
I choose the right.
Okay, we'll go with Connor first. Connor, you go near it, activate the door. A loud chunk noise comes from it. It seems to be stuck. Though the left door seems to be perfectly fine and leads out into a large open interior with multiple rooms amongst the top floor to the left and the right, and a small lower bottom piece. All steel enclosured with small decorative plants, probably plastic, as they wouldn't survive down here. But yes, strange indeed. The door is open. There are rooms, several motivational posters on different things. There are several rooms amongst the top catwalk piece of the floor. If you guys have seen Fallout 76, the opening room, it is very similar to that, with a top catwalk, a middle door leading out, and small doors going from the left to the right, and stairs at the far end going to the bottom piece. And there, at the very far end, is a large door, a very large concrete vault door, or I guess steel vault door, that leads somewhere. But there is also a bottom piece that goes down, and there are rooms down there as well.
So you're saying we're on like the mid tier?
You are currently on the top piece, and then there is a bottom piece to it as well. So 2 floors. My apologies. There's the ground floor.
I thought you were
and
saying
the
there was
first
a tier above us as well.
floor. No.
Okay, I guess I'm just F.
Or I am just very terrible at explaining.
I guess some exploration is in order to find anything useful in this place.
It seems very abandoned. Not many people here. I mean, no people here at all. You're the only ones. Though, now that you look at it more closely, there's a dead body at the bottom. One, from the looks of it, a skeleton wearing a lab coat.
Is it like a skeleton or like a still decaying body?
It's a skeleton. It's long since been dead.
It's not a skeleton, it's Skeletor. Meow.
How long were we in there?
That is a great question.
Anyone see a calendar anywhere?
The calendar's not going to help. It's going to be out of date.
Yeah, I realized that after I said it.
Well, of course you did.
Where do you want to go next? You want
I,
to go check
for
out the
one-
left room?
Sure.
See
I was
what?
going to say that anything useful we can find is probably best because we're going to have to get out of here somehow. And who knows what we're going to find on the other side of that door.
Well, do you want to go up or down?
We can't go up.
There was a catwalk.
Well, according to the overseer, all Lord Sing Steve, we are on the top
Yeah,
floor.
you guys are on the top floor, walking out of a middle section piece that is going
Well, then
on.
why'd you say there was a catwalk on the top of it?
Because you guys are
To make us
currently
curious
about how to
walking
get
out
to it.
on the walk. On the catwalks. My apologies. Because the catwalk is looking
Okay.
down into the second piece, or the ground floor, and that's what I was trying to explain. My apologies.
Well, let's go down, I guess.
I'm not going to follow them down. Are there windows to the rooms?
Yes, there are glass windows to the ones upon the catwalk, yes. And
I'm gonna walk past them and glance in the rooms briefly to see if there's anything useful that I can see.
yeah. Are you skimming every single room?
Any of them that I walk past,
Okay.
because I'm gonna be following them towards the stairs,
Okay.
but I'm not gonna go down quite yet because if I find anything useful in the
Yes.
rooms, then I'm gonna stop.
You do see a few
And you
things.
said there were rooms on each side of the walls?
Yes, there's one off to the right catwalk and the left catwalk.
Where are
And
the stairs?
which one do you go
Far
down?
end. The stairs are at the very, very far end. So,
Okay, so I guess I'll go right.
okay.
Then I'll go left.
I'm going to grab Anna Belinda and drag her along with me. with like a bubbly with like a kind of really excited attitude about my character. I'm just gonna kind of start not quite skipping, but almost skipping across the catwalk, pulling her along with me.
You can't tell, but I have a very big smile on my face. So, that's enjoyable. That's very funny. I love it.
What'd you say?
Who?
You? It sounded like you were trying to say something, but your mic cut off.
I didn't say anything.
Guess I'm going insane.
Amongst the random things, empty syringes, coffee mugs, and clipboards, and amongst the great various many other things, you find some papers. Now, just so I can make sure I have this right. You find some papers very, very vaguely, by the way. Very vaguely. Referencing things such as, just from like a kind of look over, it says something about DNA testing and cryogenics. Two big papers. From what you can tell.
It's not creepy at all. Wait, I find those or Jackson finds them?
You find them. I think. Yes, off to the right. You do find them. And Jackson, while skimming amongst the other rooms, here are some of the various things you find. Amongst both of you, I will tell you which either of you find. Jackson, you find a switchblade. Jackson and I'm just gonna call you Anna because I feel like I keep screwing up that name, and I know I am.
Anna Belinda.
Yes, I keep screwing it up. Anna and Jackson, Anna and Lucinda, my apologies, you find a scalpel, some food and water.
Scalpel.
Yep, a scalpel, some food and water, a long pole. That just what you would like to do with that, I don't know.
A long pole.
Yeah, just a large,
Okay.
long pole.
You know what you could do with that? You could be a pole dancer in the wasteland.
Hey, don't give me any ideas.
And by the way, the long pole comes from like one of the fallen pieces, either from the catwalk or kind of off one of the support systems, and it's just kind of fell. It's easy enough to wield in both of your hands, and because it's broken, it seems to be quite sharp. So you have a sharpened pole, a shiv, some water and food, and a switchblade along with a scalpel.
Would the food be any good after so long sitting?
It seems a lot of it is very old and maybe not good. You probably don't want to eat it. The water is fine. You do notice that one of the areas is a kind of overflowing-esque garden piece where the garden has just kind of run rampant from the UAV lighting and kind of the powered water systems that just keep it running. That room has kind of overgrown and is still growing things.
It's like a jungle.
Yeah.
We should get some food from the garden.
We need something to carry it in first,
Yeah.
like a backpack. Can
Good
we
point.
find something, or can we like make a carry bag?
Hint, hint.
The body
Hint.
seems to
Oh
be carrying a
Lord,
satchel.
Steve, the overseer, the
The
body downstairs.
the body seems to have a satchel upon them.
I guess that solves the carrying problem. We just have to go get it.
Are there any like trench coats on hooks?
There are lab coats from one of the rooms. It's not going to
Yeah,
provide
that's
much.
what I meant.
Yeah.
But I
Those are
just, like,
close enough to trench coats.
Yeah, but
Yeah, they're very
couldn't you
close.
just take one of those like tie the ends together and then you have a satchel basically?
I mean, yeah. You could.
I'm gonna do that, and then I can put stuff in it.
Okay. You are using a very kind of hobo bag-esque carrying thing.
I'm the schmexiest hobo you'll ever see.
I grab the satchel from the skeleton and start gathering food from the garden
Okay.
and water and stuff.
As you
I'm going to carry around that sharpened stick
Okay.
and look like I'm doing something busy. 'Cause
Okay.
I guess I'm gonna like. Is there any desks or anything?
Yeah, there
In
are
that room?
multiple of like the research rooms and kind of like medication rooms, things like that. There is, yes, there is.
I'm gonna go poke around with the meds in the med.
Definitely look for medication.
And as I'm doing that, also look through some desks
Okay.
if I can, or if I'm.
You look through desks
Thing
and
two.
cabinets and a good many things. You don't find much, but within the medical room, you do find 2 stim packs and
Mhm.
some Radaway. Might come useful, but who knows?
I don't have pockets to put them in.
You can just carry around the 2 large syringes and the IV fluid bag then.
That sounds like a great idea.
Indeed.
Nothing possibly could go wrong.
Indeed. Totally nothing can go, wrong with very sharp syringes and an IV bag that also has a very sharp
Carrying around
IV.
sharp syringes, a sharp stick, and a sharp IV bag.
Very sharp.
You could say I like sharp objects.
Or you're looking sharp. I mean, either or. Whatever.
I'm not looking sharp because I don't have a
Have a
lab
sharp
coat.
mind.
All of those things.
Ooh, is there a lab coat around that I can throw on?
There's plenty of lab coats. They're hanging up.
I'm
in
going
probably
to
every
throw
room,
one on.
At least one. Okay. You guys are the
And then I'm going to
luckiest
make my
people.
way
Okay.
back to where Anna Belinda is.
All right. You go to the bottom.
Anna, does this make me look smart?
And then when I get to her, I'm gonna like hold out like the syringes and stuff and my stick and be like, I'm looking pretty sharp, don't you think?
Absolutely.
I'm speechless.
My character will do that to people. Just renders them speechless with sheer stupidity.
I don't think it's a sheer stupidity, my friend. I think it's quite other things, but
Hey, I don't know if my character is that beautiful. Calm down.
it's not a 10 charisma, but hold on. Let me look at the sheet. Now I have to see it. What's your charisma?
My character's only got 5.
6.
No, my character's got 6.
Yep. Your character is above average, so you are like a charming woman.
I don't know about like rendering people speechless. I mean, maybe if they lack intelligence, but
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have laughed at that. I really hope that doesn't tear out my mic in the podcast. My apologies, everybody. So, oh, there we go. So,
well then,
well,
now that I have the lab coat on, I'm going to stick stuff in the pockets of the lab coat so I don't stab myself,
all right. So,
and so that I have an open hand.
okay.
While doing so, you stab yourself.
Are you holding one of the
With
syringes in your
this-
left?
No, I put both of them in one of the pockets.
Okay, so you're just kind of using the.
I want an. Yeah, I want an open hand so I can use my stick.
Okay,
I need 2 hands to hold my stick.
and so you hold your stick.
I guess I should say wield my stick
Yeah.
because I'm going to be doing more than just holding it when
Oh, I totally
time
forgot.
comes.
Upon the body is a. Hold on. I need to look at what it's called first, so I don't give you anything too crazy. You guys find a Colt 6520 10mm pistol.
Who finds this?
Probably Anna Belinda because she already pulled stuff off the corpse.
Anna found it. It was in his hand.
But the question is, does she take it with her when she takes the bag?
That depends on her.
Yes.
You do?
I do. Yes.
So now the half Deathclaw is wielding a gun.
I forgot
Wait-
to
wait
say
a minute.
Deathclaw for a minute.
How I thought the Deathclaws only came about because of the nuclear fallout.
Yeah, that was
Not
my
before.
question.
So why was she frozen in the cryo chamber?
You'll see. All in due time, my friends. All in due time.
I check for bullets.
You check for bullets. The gun itself has 12 rounds. Within the satchel, you find another 12 rounds. And some papers.
I read the papers.
You indeed
It
do.
says hi.
Quite more literary and scientific than that. It's piles on piles of genetic DNA research paper. This vault,
As she's doing that, I'm gonna go poke around at the big door,
okay.
the big vault door.
Sounds
Just kind of
good.
poke around.
So, these read off multiple different things. It seems that it's been a lot of years since the vault has closed. A good amount. For sure, I mean, how many, you're not sure. But the papers do list off different DNA testing and cross-species analyzation, along with keeping people alive in cryostasis, and seeing if a hybrid creature such as yourself is able to withstand it. There are more. There is several failed test subjects, things that are wrong, things that aren't right, and things that should not have been mixed. It's definitely scarring looking at some of these abominations, things with way too many hands and too many bones, so they died after about 15 minutes because they just could not keep up. Genetic morphing and things along that nature, genetic radiation, burning off flesh and searing off of different human bodies. It's not pretty, but then you get to a file about using chameleon DNA with various other things, which has been pronounced as an outside threat. They figured out the DNA from said outside threat and then combined it with a human specimen. Sounds very familiar. Sounds a lot like yourself. Seems like these people lived a while. It's strange. Here they are, all gone, without a trace. Seems like they at least survived to the fallout, living long enough to know what strange creature, whatever half you are composed of. If they know about that, then what's the outside like? Did they just leave? They had food and water. It's off. Doesn't seem really right, but who knows? You just know what these people were doing was almost inhuman. But what truly draws the line at science? I can't answer. Oh, I had totally forgot. Lucinda, you check the big door. This door is a large vault door. You poke around it, it seems activatable. And that's about it, unless you would like to activate it.
I would like to activate Big Door.
Okay, big door is activated. A large opening sound, large clinking and clanking of metal gears and things along that nature come forth, and the door opens. And here you are met with a long dirt tunnel leading to what seems to be another large door. And here is when Connor's character, Jackson, starts walking down the stairs after looting up and making his makeshift bag, coming down the stairs. And everybody hears the clanking and the shifting of gears to the large door opening up.
I'm going to turn around and look at Jackson and Anna and just kind of like bounce on the balls of my feet and point towards the door. It's like a big grin on my face, just like, look, I opened the door.
That's so freaking adorable. I can't even hold it in. That's cute. Just just a moment. I think maybe not. So, after the adorable escalade of Lucinda, you guys all can act out in whichever ways you would like.
Just gonna continue, just kind of like bouncing in one spot until someone tells me to stop.
Would anything?
I grab Lucinda by the
Okay.
I grab Lucinda by the shoulders and ask her if she wants to go out to the next door.
Just gonna nod my head like really fast.
I turn to Jackson and ask her if she wants to go out too. Or if she's ready to see what's at the other door.
I guess let's go.
Okay.
The
We
dirt.
walk to the door.
Okay. The dirt is almost comforting. Feeling the soft, kind of smooth dirt. It almost has a. Well, it does have a different scent. It feels fresh. Feels new. It's nice. Though, getting to the next big door, which I am guessing you click the big button, but if you have any last
Yes.
words before you do, say them now.
Can I click the button?
Go for it.
Click. Wow. A blinding light hits your eyes. It's hard to see. You kneel down for a moment, holding your head as a massive migraine hits you.
As the mice hit you.
Yes, totally. As the light hits your eyes. Massive migraine, holding your eyes for a moment, and you open. And here you are met to a blinding gray sky. Dark, with many clouds. Hundreds of trees surround upon the ashen, mudded ground. Beneath you is muddy, dry patches of dirt. Not dry patches of dirt, dry patches of grass. And almost half deadened, decayed trees. There seem to be holding on within an inch of their life, strangely enough. The air has an acrid, strange odor, but the similar pine and grass and maybe the mildew strike you as well, making it, while it smells toxic, it gives a sense of fresh moisture, life. Bet there's symbolism in that somewhere, but who knows? You'll have to look for it yourself. The fires burned, the bullets rained, but when the bombs dropped, there was silence. That same silence surrounds you right now. No chirping of birds, no grasshoppers, nothing. Silence. except a small wind that blows past you. It was a good thing you picked up those lab coats. It's a little bit chilly outside. Flashes. Memories. You're somewhere in the... what was it? Pacific Northwest. Yeah, that's right. That's where we are. That's where you are. The sky itself is a strange overcast gray, with only ashen clouds covering the whole sky. The trees grown are half burnt, and others that have survived hold very little leaves. And so, you are out of the vault. But, if that was the only thing, this would be not only awful in a beautiful kind of way, it'd be awful because there's not much exciting happening. No, it's not just the muddied ground, the half-burnt trees, and the gray sky that catch your attention. It's the mass of broken skeletons that surround you. Most of them have shredded clothing of nothing of use. But there is something of value amongst the dead bodies, and where we will be leaving the first episode off. Whoever would like to move towards the one dead body with a leather jacket upon their back, picking it up, a large sign on the back saying Adam Cats. And this is where we will leave with the first episode. I do hope all of you have enjoyed. I have tried my best in trying to make this as Fallout-ish as possible. But we're not stopping here for those on stream. We are going right into the second episode because we have to make up for last week. So, for those on YouTube, I promise video will be out soon for all of you. Goodbye, and I do hope you've enjoyed. Ciao.
Bye! From the ceiling.
No. It's
No,
like
it's
a metal
metal.
support like beam. It's like a just big enough to kind of wield as a spear. Not necessarily as big as you, but similar.
I know what kind of weapon you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's
But,
it was a
I don't remember
large
it
support
being,
beam, a large
like-
steel metal support beam that broke from halfway from the ceiling of the
A
top
spider
piece.
just crawled across my desk.
Oh god.
What about a spider?
A spider just crawled across my desk.
What kind of spider was it?
I have no idea.
Who did you catch it?
So, just for everyone to know, this is how it is on a constant basis. Except it takes... I'm sorry, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here, everybody. My apologies. But it takes us like an hour to start. So, just know we love you guys and we put in the time. I put in the time. To plan this all out and to starting is the most difficult part. Just let me put that out there. Starting is a different story.
Starting is technically the easiest part. Leading up to the start is the hardest part.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Anyways, let's get back to the game because people are listening right now. So, you
I'm
know,
waiting on you, man.
I told you. Pick up a leather jacket. You're surrounded by
Find
forests.
something,
Everything is leading down. You seem to be upon a slope. Similar. Not a very steep slope, mind you, just kind of down. Very kind of a rocky start. Kind of just slowly leading downward. Trees seem to just kind of tilt. Almost as a mountain slope. Let me put it that way. It leads down. That's probably the best chance. Though you did just kind of walk out into a new world. Something different.
Oh, no. Sorry.
Everything around you is wasteland. Everything you had is now gone. What little you remember of it at the least. Bombs desecrating your whole life. And now you step out and it's nothing more than ash, mud, decrepit trees, and gray dirt along with grass. It's barren. And fog overlays most of the forest. The best thing you really have is to go down, but if you would like to talk amongst yourselves about the new area you are in, please go ahead.
I guess you could call it beautiful in some sort of twisted way.
Beautifully sad. Depressing.
Did you hear that voice coming from nowhere?
Lucinda, did you inhale the ash?
Shh. Don't question it.
You're the one hearing voices.
Just because you can't hear them doesn't mean I can't.
I heard the voice too.
You're both insane.
Or maybe we're the only ones that aren't.
Just so
Why do you feel dumb?
everybody just so everybody on stream and the recording knows, I forgot when I turn off or mute my mic on stream and the recording, it, it doesn't mute it for them. And I thought it did for a second, so yeah. Just a little bit of insight on maybe like why they say things that they hear voices and things when I accidentally mute myself upon stream. So, you know, just some insight.
Voices in my head. What?
Oh god.
So
Yes.
I kind of spaced out when you were doing the whole explanation thing. Is there any like landmarks that are visible from where we are?
Not really. You can see another valley-esque piece, but the fog and the trees kind of cover up to another side. But it seems that there is a large dip between the two places. It seems that there's another mountain in front of you. But, I mean, you know, quite far, but they both come to dip into a sort of valley. And you are currently not halfway up, but you're quite dug into the mountain that you are on, noticing that you are on a mountain.
Are there any like taller hills or mountains, whatever nearby, so then we can get a better view.
There are no taller mountains, just the one in front of you and the one that you are on. This is a very large mountain, and it's more of a mountain range as you look to the left and to the right. It seems to go on quite far to your left, but you're in a very weird position on the mountain. The most you can tell is the one forward of you once you exit the vault. The one, let's go, how do I say this? West, no, east of you. The one east of you. As you exit the vault, the best way I can explain it, you exit the vault, you can look to the east, and there is a mountain there. And then you stand, looking to your left is north, looking to your right is south, and obviously looking towards the mountain you are on, or looking to the direction of higher of your own mountain, is west. I will put it simply as that. As I can give you the biggest hint to move on forward, you would probably want to move down the valley, or down into the valley, as most roads and things along that nature appear in areas along this sort of nature.
Well, I guess the only way forward is forward. That made total sense.
Well, technically, if you turn around, then that's forward, so
Let's just go down the valley.
Hi, Captain.
aye aye, Captain Skipper.
Not even close to my name.
If you add some letters, then it is.
Just walk.
Okay.
Aye
Just start
aye,
walking
and
down
up
the
and
hill.
then the Skipper.
I'm going to start skipping down the hill.
Loosened up. Be careful.
Okay. I'm just going to completely ignore what she says and continue skipping down the hill.
Sorry. I should not be laughing. Anyways, trying to be professional. I'm glad I had my mic muted because there was a lot of chuckling and laughter there, and it was
You
very
weren't muted
loud.
at all. I could hear everything.
On stream and recording, I was muted because, God. As I said, I'm very glad I don't have a face cam right now. Anyways, skipping along down the hill joyfully and on and so on and so forth, you move with haste, and you're met with something more or less new. A road. Seems to be a highway. Something along that nature. Wider than most roads. Long as the eye can see. But there is a turn just up ahead and to the back of you as well. So, I mean to the left and the right of you. My apologies. But there are strewn about cars and scrap metal laid upon the road here and there. Probably a good deal away from each other because this is quite rural and out of the way of most things. But now you are on a road. You have more or less a direction to pick from at this point.
Which way were the cars heading?
They seem to be heading left. By the way, for everybody who is watching the stream, Hitardus is Connor. Just so you know, he said, I go right. Instead of talking. It's a podcast for a reason, Connor. And he told me to shut up. Very professional. Anyways. It is a podcast after all. Do talk. Please.
That takes too much effort.
Pretty sure writing takes more effort. So, do we want to go right or left?
If there's cars, that probably means civilization, so I think we should probably go left. Unless we don't want to be possibly murdered, then we should probably go right.
I say we go left.
Lucinda wants to go left. Jackson wants to go right.
Is my mic still muted?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Now that I've been talking for the past 20 minutes.
Have you been talking for the last 20 minutes? Because you were just talking.
Close enough.
Well then. That kind of sucks.
When we first got to the road, I started talking, and apparently my mic was muted, so none of it was heard.
Yeah. Might want to check for that. Well then. What will it be?
Left. I'm following Anna, so I don't really... Like, my character is, like, glued to Anna's side, almost. Just, like, following Anna around for no reason whatsoever.
Okay, we go right or left then. If Jackson tries to go right, I grab her by the scruff of her
I go
jacket and
left. I
drag
go left.
her.
Okay.
We should.
Go ahead. Sorry for
I
interrupting.
was just gonna say we should possibly. You're fine. We should possibly check the cars and stuff on the way for anything useful. Just like glance in on them.
Sorry about that. Okay. You walk. And you walk. Just checking cars. It seems people were not afraid to kill. As these cars, some of them are armored. Spikes put upon them. Broken weapons within them. But most of all, blood. Skeletons with bullet holes in them and other things. Too terrible to describe. This world seems to be much more ruthless than your last. But you don't really know what your old life was, so it seems you're gonna have to adapt. But noticing on how some characters are cheerfully happy, I don't think that's going to be that big of a deal. But the most you find is scrap, and even if you choose to pick that up, there's plenty of it. Clothes here and there, if you choose to wear it over your vault suit, or there's nothing like armor, but there are heavier coats. Bandanas and scarves and things along that nature. Socks, pants. Some of them probably too big for you or too small, but you make do if you do choose to pick up the clothing and things along that nature. Do any of you choose to?
Lucinda is going to look for like a jacket of some sort so that she can get out of the lab coat.
Okay. As I said, there are jackets and shirts and multiple things amongst the dead bodies. You do find a heavy urban jacket with kind of fur lining that's a little bit burnt here and there, but it's not bad. It's in okay condition. It'll work. It's a little bit chilly and by your body stature and kind of your weight, it's probably a lot colder than it would be to others. So it definitely helps. The chill is gone. You're warmed up, snuggled up in your big coat that is just a little bit too big for you. But that's okay. Just a little bit.
I am okay with that.
Okay.
I have me make sure that I have everything transferred from the lab coat to the other one. So the stim packs and stuff.
Thank you for saying that because I totally would have forgotten. So yes, you transfer that. Is anybody else looking for any sort of certain clothing? There is things that I don't necessarily have a list, but there's multiple different things along the pants and shirts and jackets and shoes and hats and scarves and things along that nature. Just if you're interested in an article of clothing, tell me so I can be like, okay, that's cool. Yes, you find something similar to that, and I will describe it to you. So, just in case any of you want anything, do tell me now.
Do we have shoes?
You do have shoes. They're worn boots, I think. Let me just check real quick. I Yes, they're kind of like a tight black leather boots, a little bit worn, a little bit kind of here and they're a little bit ragtag, but they are a kind of thinly strapped black leather tight boots that came along with the vault suit.
If that's the case, then I'm going to look for a pair of combat boots.
Combat boots. Okay.
And if I can't find combat boots, then normal hiking boots will work.
You probably find some beaten up hiking boots. So yeah, beaten up hiking boots. And for the others,
I want to look for just warmer, heavier, better clothing
okay.
and shoes.
Okay. Better shoes. Any kind of better shoes that you would like, heavier boots or something along that nature.
If I'm looking for shoes, I'd probably want boots that are
Okay.
easy to walk around in.
Well, you do have the black boots, like the leather strip boots, which are comfortable and they're in quite well condition. So you can stick with those. They're just thin and they're a little bit chilly, but that's about all. You do find though, long sleeve shirts and hoodies, um, Good amount of the hoodies are a little bit big on you, but that's kind of a good thing now that you think about it. You kind of sit there for a minute and you're like, maybe I should find me a large hoodie. Something that can cover the horns. Might be a good idea. If you would like, anyways.
I'll bring along a big hoodie, but I want to keep my leather jacket too.
Oh yeah, that's perfectly fine. You can wear the leather. I forgot you had the leather jacket, by the way. But yes, you can wear the leather jacket over the hoodie. You're probably wearing a pretty good sized hoodie. It goes down a little bit, covering your horns, covering a little bit of your eyes, yet you can see perfectly fine. You look kind of menacing for, not to be mean, but a small statured person. You guys look like a bunch of ragtag survivors now.
My character is dressed in a bunch of beat up clothes and is like the most hyperactive adult ever.
How about you, Jackson? Is there anything you would like to find? Any sort of clothing? This is, by the way, purely for more or less how people see your characters. This is kind of purely for that, and a little bit more so for Anna, since she's half Deathclaw. And let me put it this way: people don't take well to Deathclaws. I mean, there's worse things, but
They're
we'll
just
get to those later.
misunderstood. They're nice and kind. If people wouldn't shoot at them, they wouldn't attack us.
Sure, we'll go with that. Yes, we'll go with that terminology for right now. But yes, Jackson, is there? Do you just essentially want the clothing from your photo or something different?
That looks like she's wearing a vault uniform that's just not
Yeah,
got
you're
up all
right.
the way.
A leather jacket.
The thing about the leather jacket is it's armor, so I can't just be giving away armor freely, and it's actually really good armor. So the thing about finding the leather
A
jacket is
normal
that
leather jacket is considered armor.
yes, yes it is.
Yes. Ad-
Okay then.
Anna's wearing a leather jacket
How do
and
I put
has
it?
armor.
It's the leather jacket is basic protection. It's just thick enough to stop something. I mean, when how do I put it?
The
Someone has
scratch of a mouse.
someone has a switchblade and they're trying to stab you. You go to dodge out of the way and they clip your side. But instead, your leather jacket catches the knife and tears through the leather jacket, then you. It's basic protection. It's not going to stop a bullet, but somebody stabbing at you with a knife or some sort of object, it also cushions out a good amount of bashing damage as well. If you're wearing a leather jacket and someone punches you, it's going to feel, I mean, a whole lot better than someone punching you without the leather jacket, if that makes sense. So, yes.
Okay then, I guess nothing really.
Okay.
Did I find any better shoes?
Um, yes, you find some better hiking boots that are in a little bit better condition than Lucinda's. They're just, and they seem to be a little bit big on you, but that's fine. They work. Just tighten them up a little bit. And
How did mine fit?
huh?
I don't think you ever said. I don't think you ever said how my boots fit.
Yours are
I
perfectly
just kind of
fit.
like
They're
found a
just
pair of
kind of,
boots.
yeah. They're just kind of like fit you nicely, though they are a little bit ripped up in some places, mostly like the top and like a little bit of the lace is the shoelace is kind of screwed up, but or the bootlace, but
The aglet.
sure, the aglet is a little bit screwed up. But other than that, you have nice hiking boots, which is thicker, a little bit warmer, and just
As long as they keep my feet warm and I don't get sick.
yeah. While Jackson is over here looking like a total, I want to say badass, but I don't know if that's the right word. Yeah, I'll go with badass. Just kind of stone cold. Walking, doesn't feel the cold. That sort of kind of person.
It's not that my character felt the cold. I just wanted a jacket.
Yeah. Apparently, Jackson just doesn't like jackets. Or she thinks she looks better without it. I have no...
My character looks hot no matter what she wears.
Same with Jackson.
I apologize.
Because of her charisma, which, by the way, is 7. So she is currently the most charismatic out of you guys.
Arg.
Harlarg.
Ararg. Why?
Though, since you guys have everything you'd like, if you want any road banter, just tell me. So you guys may talk amongst yourselves, but if not, just tell me. Would you guys like to talk amongst yourselves before an event happens, per se?
I can't think of anything.
Are you guys ready to go on?
Yep.
Yes.
A skip from Lucinda. A sort of kind of sassy-esque walk from Jackson. Just probably good many years practicing the just perfect right amount of sway and everything else. And Anna kind of...
You think I'm practiced? It's all natural.
There you go. And the short esque... I guess you are the same height as everybody else, so I can't say kind of like the sprintish waddle, but from kind of holding your tail up and kind of... How do I put this? You guys move forward, because my brain is a little bit congealed right now with a lot of things that are about to happen. I'd really like to get there. A strange group. A hyperactive Lucinda. The charismatic Jackson, and the half-claw Anna. You move along the road. No one in sight. Though you do get out of the mountain pass. Or at least, not really out of the mountain pass, but you find a village. It's small. Houses littered ever so among the town. Houses to the left and the right of the road, and then they branch off into ever connecting housing and roads. There can't be more than, I don't know, 30 houses. It's probably my guess.
I'm going to kind of, as I'm kind of skipping along, I'm going to start pointing at it as if everybody else didn't see it.
Okay.
Just like, look, there's a town over there.
Is the sun close to setting? About what time is it?
Oof. One thing I totally forgot. Let's see. We'll go with probably around 5:30. It's good noon. The sun is low, but it's still up. Though it's really hard to see through the dim, dark overcast that is above you. It makes everything kind of a little bit more gray.
Whether we stay in the town tonight or not, we should probably look for extra supplies. You never know when we could come across another town.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Yes, supplies.
Okay. You guys are a little bit far from the town, but how do you approach it? Do you just go along the main road, or what is your approach to the town?
In a totally un-Lucinda-like way, I'm just gonna casually walk down the road without skipping, and in a calmly manner.
Hmm. Interesting. And so you walk towards the town. In a calm manner, like you said. Walk closer and closer, and the first thing you actually see, the first building, is a gas station. I wish I would have put a little bit more work into designing the gas station, but we'll say the Red Rocket is a multinational gas station because I can't think of anything else. So, a large rocket atop of a almost diner-esque styled establishment and two gas pumps outside. Creative, am I right?
So it's like the Maverick of Fallout.
Yes, it's the Maverick of Fallout.
Just like a large network of gas stations that are across the
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah,
Okay.
that's a good way to put it. And just for those who have played Fallout 4, this will not be like the Red Rocket gas station from Fallout 4. It's a little bit bigger. There's probably more than just like one small diner-esque aisle. It's a little bit bigger, but they're not inside of it yet. They're just kind of, I don't know. Hmm. You guys are a little whiles away. Maybe a good 5 minutes to get there. To get up close, you guys can just see it. It's well known. It's kind of a flashback in the back of your head, something that just kind of flares up. The word Red Rocket seems familiar. Seems like something that I can know.
Red Rocket, yum.
I mean, they probably don't serve anything unique, but sure. Yum. Lucinda taking the lead. You walk on forward. The gas station, it's no shiny red anymore, but rather a dark crimson crackled paint that chips away off of the rocket, falling ever so slowly to the ground, like ash or snow. Is that creeing? I guess that would be the word for it. Something's making a noise. It's from that station. It's not necessarily a chirp. Maybe a whimper, like a dog? Yeah, that sounds a little bit more like it. Whimper. But not necessarily of a dog. You know when you watch something like Jurassic Park and you see the little baby raptor make that screeching noise. It's not necessarily a screech. It's like a... I don't necessarily know how to put it into words.
The cooing noise they make?
There we go. Cooing. Yes, very, very similar to cooing.
Investigate.
Say again?
I'm going to go investigate the noise.
I follow Lucinda because she needs someone to watch her.
Okay.
Lucinda doesn't need anybody to watch her. She's a strong, independent woman. Slightly insane at times.
And very immature.
That is beside the point. I can defend myself. Okay, so we get to the
Okay.
noise, yes.
It's around back. And so you go around back, away from the gas pumps and the entrance. And there's a cardboard box. And it's shuffling. It's rocking around, making thumping noises.
If there is a dog inside, I claim it.
I will go look in the box.
I draw my gun just in case.
You open the box slowly. It rattles and it shuffles and it suddenly stops. You open it slowly. That's different. That's not a dog. It's similar to a dog, I guess. Has 4 limbs, a tail, and horns. For what you see is a baby Deathclaw, but you don't know this. You just know it has small horns. is
All
making
Lucinda
kind of
sees is cute, adorable baby animal, and I must pet it.
Okay.
So I'm going to kind of put my hand in front of it to so it can smell my hand.
I pack bond with it and claim it as my child.
Its tongue falls outside of its mouth, almost like a dog. It smells your hand, and it licks your hand. And it
I'm
jumps out of
going
the box.
to scratch it behind the ears.
Makes a funny, abstract cooing noise. And panting, similar to a dog. It's still in the box, though. And in the box is a plaid blanket in there. It was big enough to fit the baby. So, it smells familiar. Anna. It definitely smells like you, in a way, has a similar scent. Maybe a similar species? Yeah. Do you want to protect it? You want to claim it for some reason? Maybe it's instinctual? But you suddenly kind of grow motherly towards it. Do what you will with that.
We are taking this with us. I pick it up.
Can you pick it up? How big is it?
It's about the size of... Hold on, I'm kind of measuring it out with my hands. You guys can't see it, but I am. Gosh. Maybe the size of your torso?
So basically the size of a toddler.
Yeah, there we go. A small toddler. Yeah.
I pick it up.
Okay. And it is not, super big. You can definitely, pick it up with both hands and carry it. I am going to give you guys an idea, just, if you would like. The blanket can definitely be put, wrapped around, and you guys can kind of cradle it within the blanket, kind of like a small carrier almost, like wrapping it around your shoulder and kind of just like putting it there, and it will like snuggle up to you. If that's something you would like to do, of course. Just kind of something I thought of on the spot.
That is something I would like to do.
Who would like to carry the baby? This is very important. As
Who has the most?
I
Who has the most strength?
Yeah.
think it's you, Anthony.
Say, I have 5.
Yeah, hold
Not
on. I can't check the character sheets right now. Everything is a little bit blocked up. Can you guys check for
What is
me?
your strength?
Mine is
not me.
4. I want
Yeah, it's Anthony.
to carry it, but
Oh, you can. Like, you definitely can. It's you're not gonna gain any
okay.
penalties right now for it, but you know, there's always
I give Lucinda the satchel
okay.
and wrap blanket up so that I can carry the baby Deathclaw.
Snuggles up to you, kind of like with its small claws, like clings on to your leather jacket and like snuggles up very close, wraps its tail close, and makes sure to get all bundled up and warm. Is that engines in the distance? Is that screaming in the distance? Yep, and it's coming right towards you. From the right side of the road. Are my mice fighting? Hold on. I have to go check this. I'll be back. No, they are not fighting. I'm just hallucinating. Anyways, from the right side of the road, whooping. Heavy engines come from that way. And from the horizon, coming up the crest of that hill, or where the road hills upward, you see a heavy-duty truck. Why can I not remember the name of what this truck is called? It's a semi-truck. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Semi-truck that looks heavily armored. It's like a glint in the distance. You can't really see it very well from here, but it's coming in fast. And you hear people... In screaming, I mean more like roaring out. Like, cheering, in a way.
It's not someone screaming in fear.
Yeah. It's...
Like
But they're
war
like-
cries.
Yeah, war cry. It's definitely very similar to a war cry. You also see motorcycles, and it's coming straight your way.
Probably take cover to investigate and try not to get caught because you don't know what the hell it is. Because I don't know what it is. You probably know exactly what it is.
Yep. Indeed I do. Jackson, because you have 10 luck, you get a tingle. Kind of like just that sixth sense sort of thing. And it's telling you to not be at this gas station currently. This is the first place they would check. This is probably not safe. And it sends a small shiver up your spine to think what's coming is probably not good.
Hey guys, I think we should leave.
I second that.
I'm going to be a little hesitant about leaving and then follow after. Like, I really want to know what's going on. Like, I really want to stay and figure it out. But at the same time, they're leaving and I don't want to be alone.
Where should we go?
Anywhere but here, probably.
There are a few houses nearby the road. You could maybe go a few houses down and post
Are
up.
we going to be able to get to them without being caught by the people in the truck
They are
vehicle?
yeah, they're quite far away. You could get to anywhere with probably a 10-minute increment. So if you guys can make it a few houses down or wherever you would like to. Or if you have any specific questions of like what places.
I want to check my full surroundings just to try and weigh our options of where to go.
So this is a very suburban area, a very kind of, how do I put it? It's like the suburban life, the perfect house, the green mowed lawn, except that's all gone. Broken in windows and crashed down doors, along with dried out grass, broken picket fences, and things along that nature. But the roads do um, intertwine and they do connect into a neighborhood. So there are multiple kind of options to go around. There's not really much in the way of cover. There's a few houses down that has a good hedge, a good green hedge that's pretty high, probably a good 5 foot high. There's a house across the road, probably 4 houses down, that's has more windows and a little bit more wood, a better picket fence, kind of a little bit more put together than the other houses per se. Not all the houses. There are a few houses here and there that are a little bit well put together more, but those are the two closer, more safer looking options.
I think it might be safer to go to a more rundown area that they might overlook.
This is all up on you guys. Just tell me what you'd like to do.
Then we should probably get out of here before they kind of arrive on top of us.
Get as far as we can.
Yeah.
Okay. Get
Okay.
as far as we can. Hide.
Okay. Do you guys want to run? Just a question.
Running might be a good idea, but at the same time, I kind of want to like get behind the houses and just sneak down
Okay.
a couple buildings. Like get
Sure.
off the road, get away from the road, get like kind of sneak behind the buildings. That way, if they arrive and we're still moving, they don't see us or
Yeah.
have less of a chance of catching us.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Does everybody agree on that?
Yes.
Okay. Um, is Jackson still gone? Or when did
You
he post
might
that?
have walked in.
Okay. I didn't see that message till now, so shows me how well I pay attention. And I don't want him to miss this, because it's kind of big. But it looks like we'll have to make do. The semi comes rolling into the town. War cries and grunts and the rev of engines, along with banging. Seems like they're occupying themselves well. They ride in motorcycles along them. There seems to be around, from what you can see, about 11 of them. How do the raiders look, you might ask? They're wearing leather. Most of them wearing goggles, one wearing a spiked leather mask. Large spines connected to a leather mask, very, very tight on his face, or her face. A good amount of them are wearing scrap armor, metal upon leather or some sort of heavy-duty clothing. There's one who rides along the side of the semi. When they stop, he gets off the bike, or they get off the bike. This one seems a little bit different than the others. This one is wearing a large, it's not foam, but a large bear mask that covers his face, like his whole head. The one's like a mascot mask, something similar to something Disneylandish, but this one is just a bear, smiling. It's torn up, it's burnt. There's even a few holes in it. And that person stands with a rifle in their hands, putting their arm up, bam, bam, and hits the truck. The driver gets out of the truck, turns off the truck, and gets out as well. The leader is a shorter girl, probably around the likes of 5'4" to 5'5". Leather jacket on her. Has gloves on. And carries a pistol. She looks to the rest. Well, boys, if you want the loot, it's all out there. You better go. We don't have all day. And I don't want pesky rats getting in our vehicle. I always hate shooting the pretty ones. Ain't that right, boys? They all start hollering. Whooping, pounding on their bikes. That's not really the worst part, though. One of them, one of the raiders, it seems this is what I will be calling them from now on. One of the raiders goes up to the back, opens the door, climbs in, and you see people fall out of the back. They're chained up, and he pushes them out of the truck, landing flat on their faces of the asphalt, and since they're connected, one pulls the others out, making them trip and stumble. They have around 3 or 4. All women except one. So, 3 women, 1 man. The man is grizzled, looks tired, looks like he's seen some things. The other women, not much left to note. The most I can say is the one raider looks to one of the women, slamming her against the truck, putting his face close to her. You can't hear it, but you do see him lick her face and kick her in the stomach, pointing at her and walking away. And then stands guard and watches them. Another raider comes up, grabs the chain, and locks it to the truck. Not sure exactly where, probably a small bar or something along the vehicle. Something added on, engineered upon it. They lock the prisoners up, and the one raider, large, burly, probably around 6'5", looks at them, the one who licked the girl's face, and he stands watch. The other raiders look amongst the town. And the raider female leader, picking her head up from the ground, looks forward. Well, what are you waiting for, boys? Go get 'em. Go get what is yours and take back what you find. She puts her arms up in the air and says, "Go, my dogs! Go, my war pups! Move! Take what is yours! For this is the land of the free and the home of the brave." On the mountain edge, a figure stands, a cloak over their body. The face cannot be seen. They stand around 8 feet tall, hunched over. A large hump on its back appears from out the black, heavy cloak. And it watches. And it waits. And it jumps off of the cliff, letting the cloak dramatically lift upward as it falls to the ground. And this is where we'll end episode 2, everybody. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope my dear guests have enjoyed too. That being Lucinda Jackson and Anna. Thank you guys. You guys have really made this more than I ever thought it could be. The people watching and the people who joined me. Making this podcast has always been a dream of mine, and I say that every episode, but it's true. I love it. And these people put more spirit into their characters than I can ever do on my own. They let this become something that's fantastic, so I thank them for that. But, as every great story, this chapter has to come to a close. So until next time, my kitlings and the viewers upon YouTube, goodbye, and until the next episode, I tip my top hat to you. Bye-bye, everybody, and ciao. Make this better for you. Now, I am still a little bit... I cough, and I am still down with that sickness I had a few weeks ago, but it's wearing off, so hopefully this will sound better and do better in general. So welcome in, everybody. But before we get to where we were, an intro. Fallout 1. A great narration by Ron Perlman, but originally for the first game. War. War never changes. The Romans waged war to gather slaves and wealth. Spain built an empire from its lust for gold and territory. And Hitler shaped a battered Germany into an economic superpower. But war never changes. In the 21st century, war was still waged over the resources that could be acquired. Only this time, the spoils of war were for also its weapons, petroleum and uranium. For these resources, China would invade Alaska, the US would annex Canada, and the European Commonwealth would dissolve into quarreling, bickering nation-states, bent on controlling the last amount of remaining resources upon Earth. Welcome to Fallout, everybody, where Hour 3 are held. Currently in a sticky situation, hiding in a building, watching over a raider crew, in which there are what looks to be around 10, if I mention correctly. Their leader holding her arms up high, saying her words. The land of the free and the home of the brave. Shouting as loud as she can, and her war pups running forward. First, the gas station. Pillaging through, throwing things behind. At least one of them throwing things behind them, scavenging what little he can. But the others run a little bit farther into the town. Now, before I continue with what the raiders are doing, we will start by what the town is, as last time I didn't really give a clear description on how it is. So, walking into town, there was a large, vast forest on their left. Within their background, you can still see the high, lifted canyon, mountain, stone rock face wall in the distance of where they had walked from their vault. But off to their left, as they enter town, it is vast forest, widening out into an open field within around halfway through the town. So, walk halfway through, and looking to your left, it will start, instead of being an open, vast forest, it becomes a large, plain field, very wide and open. The rest of the town, there's a main street running through the middle, and buildings upon the right and the left. There seems to be around 3 rows of buildings on your left, and more or less the stores and acquainted buildings of that nature on the right. So around 1 row of buildings on the right, and around 2 rows to 3 rows as the town expands within the middle upon the left. Most of these houses are burnt down, crushed under their own weight, or even more, but the church within the middle still stands, along with a majority of the houses. Around 1 out of every 3 houses is still standing. Other than that, there are a few side alleys and onward, things along that nature. The raiders, are still in the beginnings of town, raiding the gas station, which is the first thing off to the left, and a few other things. Another thing I forgot to mention is the baby Deathclaw, or how it looks. It is, or its color and kind of its own little things. It is actually a little bit paler than most Deathclaws, as it is, more, it's not a dark green as most Deathclaws more west are. It's a little bit, the green of our background, it is dark on the edge of its scales, but as it goes down, it becomes a white, almost a snowy white, and its eyes are a weird mix between amber, gold, and red. A beautiful little thing, unique in its own nature, and a little bit smarter than most Deathclaws are. Other than that, our players, it is your time to arise. Talk amongst yourselves. What are you looking for? What do you want to do?
So we're inside a building, right?
You're inside a building around 4 houses down from the gas station.
Okay.
It's half broken.
The I'm gonna try and I'm gonna search the house to try and find something to take them down from afar, because I have the
Yes.
metal pole or whatever
Mm-hmm.
that I was carrying around. Is if I remember
Okay.
correctly, it was sharp on one end, is what you were saying.
Yes, it
but
is a broken metal pole. Spear length, broken just enough to have it make a perfect point. But I think Anna was trying to talk to you.
sorry.
You're fine. Lucinda, give me the other 12 bullets that we found.
I hand them over.
And I'll help you look around the house.
as I had mentioned, the house is around half broken. One of it, the front of the house has kind of collapsed in on itself. There is no second story, sadly. There is a dining room and around 4 other rooms. It seems like most of the dining room and the front of the living room is totally collapsed in. But one of the back doors leading in through the back piece of the living room allows you to enter the building, and you guys look around. There's not much. You do, though, strangely enough, kind of in your head, thinking, what could I do? What could I do for range? You find maybe somebody's old carving of something out of... I can't remember what wood I had said before. It's a wood from around the Pacific Northwest, but it's a particular hue of wood. That's
It's
very...
you.
It's yew? Okay.
You.
Oh, it's yew. Okay. Yew wood. It's carved out within a similar shape. Maybe it was a table leg or something of that nature. A large table leg going probably up to waist height. But it seems to be curved just enough that you think maybe you could use it for a bow. And you also do find some twine. You could probably put it together within a few seconds, testing out the flicking of it and seeing if it's working. But for that, I would like you... would you like to make a bow out of it?
I would love to make a bow out of it.
Okay, awesome. Let's see here. Lucinda, please roll me... Gosh, what do you have?
Not a lot.
I can see that. Roll me... Oh gosh, what is it? I can't find it. Not melee weapons. Not steel. It's technically not small guns. Not energy weapons. Oh gosh, where's just the guns perk, guys? Oof.
Small guns.
There is small guns.
They're
Not big guns.
big.
Would outdoorsman?
Yeah, that would actually work. Thank you. Roll outdoorsman for me.
I can.
But if compared to 20, I can't. I think you're rolling below it. It's a little bit.
No clue what the heck that's supposed to mean at all.
It's a little bit shoddy. It's probably something. The string is a little bit loose. It's a little bit.
Well, it's again a bow, though.
If you have a buddy who has more
Did you
outdoorsmen
say?
than you, then you can have them help you make it too, and you can have them roll.
What is your outdoorsman?
It's
Mine's 20.
20.
I'll roll. Mine's 44.
Jesus.
Sure. Go ahead.
Damn.
Oof. It's improved. It's definitely, the string is a little bit tighter, and it's better, is the most you can say. It's not a pristine master-made bow of, like, every hunter ever, but you could definitely shoot a stick off of it. A sharp stick. Probably impale something. So, you know. Do what you would like.
Are there any chairs around?
There are a few.
Or-
Yeah.
Something I can use as arrows?
There is plenty of shattered wood from the roof being collapsed in. There is plenty. There's a good amount.
Yeah, but is any of it usable as an arrow?
There are a good few thin pieces with sharp ends that I could call arrows, yes. You might spend a little bit of time notching it and seeing if, like, they're good to use as arrows, because if you just kind of, like, use a piece of wood that's sharpened, it'll work. Like, trust me, it'll work, but probably not as well as something with any sort of back piece to...
Something with fletching,
Yeah.
something that's smooth all the way down, has a point.
It's like you find, like you said, chairs and things along that nature. Stools have those thin rods kind of like thin cylinders that you could definitely use that have been broken off and with a sharp piece at the end. I'll say you find five arrows. I think that works. I think that'll be a good number.
Okay.
So there you go.
How many people are outside?
10. There are 10 with a few hostages.
Are any of them heading in this direction?
Oh yeah. There's her war pups are the leader's war pups are one is in the gas station, a few are searching the houses down, but each one is trying to take a different house. One is actually running past your building and is looking to a store a little bit ahead of you. It's sort of like a supermarket to your right, and he goes running as fast as he can, hollering and beating on his chest that way. He seems to be holding, I think, hold on, let me just look. He's holding a kind of bat, but along it are like metal nuts and like bolts put through it. So it's similar to a bat, but it seems to be like a homemade bat with metal nuts and like metal pieces on it just to make it, if someone would hit you over the head with that, it would hurt a lot, essentially.
Who would our biggest threat be out of the 10 people?
Your biggest threats are the ones with pistols. The sniper on top of the truck, which he is currently just looking out for people coming near the truck. The leader is definitely something to be worried about. You can just tell if she is somehow managing these guys, she has to have something up her sleeve, even though she doesn't look that terrifying, but just that look in her eyes from how far you guys are and how she is, she seems to be deadly. But probably the most to be kind of worried about is the one kicking the slaves and the one with the foam head on his head currently. The foam bear head. He seems to have sturdier armor and a rifle within his hands. And he is just nodding to what the leader is saying. He's been quiet this whole time. No whooping, no hollering. Silence.
So the guy on top of the truck.
Yes.
I'm going to try and shoot him
Oh, really?
with one of my arrows.
Okay, yeah, sure. Hold on. Let me look at combat rules real quick. Yes, so you decide to shoot him?
I want to make sure that I'm not visible.
Okay. So are you just kind of hiding in the back of the house, by the way?
Sure, let's go with that.
Do you have a weapon, by the way, Jackson?
Nope.
I think the most of the stuff we got were like shivs and my pole and Ashley's pistol.
Who has the switchblade and the scalpel?
And his pistol.
Oh, wait, no, I have the switchblade.
Okay.
I have a scalpel and the pole, and I think Anna got another scalpel.
No, I didn't. I just have the pistol.
I thought there was 2 scalpels
Hmm.
that we wound up with.
We'll go with one for now. Okay. So you are using a bow, and I think that's a single shot weapon. I will have to put in later your stats, or I'll put them in now. Oh my gosh, I have people who love me. Someone brought me a candy bar. The greatest thing ever. Anyways. Weapons, gosh. The Fallout PDF is something to look through, guys. It's a lot. Trust me, if you want to play something that has a lot to go on and a lot of lore behind it, this is definitely something to look at. Okay, we gotta find the bow. And this is something I had, like, the worst time with looking for last time. It was rough.
Wait.
Oh, found it. Okay. Yes?
So there's the guy on top of the truck with the sniper.
Yep.
The guy with the Bearhead, who has a rifle.
Yep.
Does anyone else have any other guns, and how many have pistols?
The War Pops, there's, let's say, 3 have a 10 millimeter pistol, a Colt 65 20 10 millimeter pistol, the same one you have. And the guy who is kicking the slaves and is just being a total piece of crap in general, he seems to have really thickly inlaid brass knuckles on. So, I don't know, maybe something to look out
So
for.
there's 5 with guns and 5 without.
Yep. The rest have things like spears and thick inlaid baseball bats and scrap axes and things along that nature.
I want to try and shoot the guy who has the rifle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Let me look at your guys' weapons real quick, and let me. Oh gosh.
Because those two seem like our biggest threat.
What would the skill be for the bow? What do you have most in? Small guns or big? No, it wouldn't be a big gun.
Me?
Yeah, can you look if you have more in small guns or throwing?
I have.
More.
What was the other option? Throwing and what?
Small guns.
I have more in small guns,
Okay.
but it's only a 5-point difference.
We'll go with small guns then, just so I know. Small guns. There is a lot to look at here, guys. Like, if you look through this PDF, there's a lot to go on. Wooden bow. What is your damage? A D3? What? It's a +3, I guess. Damage bonus is a +3, I think. The range is 40. Weapon is makeshift bow. And we will go single. Number of dice 1. Ammo 5. Rounds 5, I guess. And it is in. You know what? I'm not going to tell you its condition yet, but it's an okay condition.
It's probably very.
It's alright. Don't even worry about it, man. Anna Belinda.
I'm worried about it.
Let's see you with your awesome freaking pistol over there. Now, this one is definitely small guns. Its damage is +6. Holy shit. Okay. Whatever. You know. Alright. That's a rough gun. Lord, okay. Alrighty. AP cost, I don't really care about AP cost since we're not going by kind of... Oh, yes I am. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to me. AP... Oh, what? What does that mean? I think... I'll have to look at the shooting rules real quick. Sorry, everybody. This is my first time with the combat system. It's really in-depth, and, like, the weapons are... I probably should have done this a little while ago, but... If you would know me, I get things done while in stream. Which is... you know... Probably not healthy for everything, but it makes things exciting. You know how it goes. Oh, and I closed out yours. Awesome. So, Anna Belinda and Lucinda. There we go. Awesome. Yep, there we go. So, for yours, Belinda. Combat, there we go. Left hand. 10. That is not a 10. 10 pistol is what I'll just call it for now. Its range is 19. Single shot only. ammo is how many? 24, correct?
Yes, 24.
Okay, so 12, 24. There we go. Its condition is in good. There we go. Hopefully that works out because holy crap, if it's not, that might be a problem. Okay. Alright, everybody. Time for combat. Let's go. I'll put these down. So, they don't know you're there. I will let you guys pick who goes first and who goes last.
Was me and Anna were both going for the guy with the right sniper, or was Anna?
You were going
the
for
guy
the
with
sniper. I was going for the rifle.
mask?
Okay. So you're going for
I'm going for the
you're
lookout,
going for the lookout.
trying to take him down silently
and
so
you're
that no one
going
knows.
for the guy with the bear mask currently. So, things are taking an unexpected turn of what I had thought, because you guys are a bunch of damn lunatics, and that's a good thing. So, let's go for it. Please roll both attack for me.
Where's the attack button?
Roll your weapon. My apologies.
I don't know where that is.
Small gun.
Right there.
Go to combat.
Or is it in
and-
combat?
It's under combat.
Okay.
Jeez.
Compared to 49. Oh, lordy loo. Okay, so Anna, you went for the guy with the bear mask, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me. I was smart enough not to grab a pencil. I'll be right back. Sorry for people on stream.
I was smart enough not to grab a pencil. I think that's how it works.
A pen will work too. I am currently just looking at.
I have a pencil if that helps.
Well, it. Okay, you know.
No, it doesn't.
No, not really. It really doesn't help.
It helps me.
I have a pencil too.
Let's put it down as foam head for now, or bear head.
I was just gonna go with bear mask, but okay.
Oh, well, that would have worked out way better.
It doesn't sound as weird either.
Oh my gosh, there's so many things. War pup times frick. Is it 8? 1, 2, 3.
Hey.
I think it's 6 times 6.
Hey.
Yeah.
I have to go say prayer. I'll be back.
Okay, man.
Okay.
Sounds good. Okay. Figuring out all this crap, so 7 damage. Oh gosh. Okay, now I have to look. There's so many things, guys. It's really crazy where it starts being like, here's armor. Okay, now go look at everything else. And it's like, oh lord, what are you giving me? Game. Too much
Did
stuff.
we put down my pole
Yes.
sword spear thing?
Oh, you can
Should
do
we
that.
put that in weapons as well?
If you would like to, you can do that as well. But that means you have to open up the PDF. So yes, I will do it for you.
Yep, open already.
Hold on. Are you gonna put your spear on your back now? Because you can't have it in your left hand or right hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can technically,
You can, but to fire your.
as it does
I mean,
all 5 arrows to hold, or all 5 Fuck, I can't talk. It doesn't take all 5 fingers to hold the arrow to the string.
well, yeah, but it's gonna be super difficult holding like a 5-foot pole and a arrow.
If it's as tall as I am, was that the premise of how tall it was?
Somewhere around there, yeah. It's a pipe.
Yeah, my character's 5'9".
Making it a little bit even more kind of insane to pull that
Ridiculous.
drawstring. Yeah, pretty ridiculous.
Um,
We'll go with 5 feet
it
3.
would technically be on my back. I was just
Okay. Yeah,
wondering
just wondering. Okay.
to
Yeah, I'll
have.
put it in later. So I'm just looking at the armor.
Technically, I
Oh,
couldn't put it on my back, so it's
yeah,
probably laying on
that
the
didn't
ground next.
work. Oh gosh, this poor bear. Um, you hear the guy with the full mask kind of jolt back, and the bullet entering somewhere but where the armor wasn't, as it's inlaid scrap armor, and there's a lot of holes in that. So you see it go through him. Blood somewhere within his torso spurts out, and he kind of falls to the ground, gets back up, pulls the bolt back on his rifle, and looks around. And you hear him like roar out, and the leader, very very pissed off, shouts at the top of her lungs, "Find them!" And the war pups start going into different starts taking cover, and her herself hops in. No, she doesn't hop in the car. Never mind. She takes cover behind of the large vehicle while the foam head guy starts um, running off to the back. And the guy kind of like the guy beating up on the slaves and being weird and licking a woman's face, and that guy, he looks up kind of surprised, looks to the slaves, points at the gruff guy. You can't really hear what he says, but that as he looks away, the gruff guy breaks his shoulder, dismantles his shoulder blades while pulling the handcuffs over his head, popping them back in place, taking his arms around the large gruff guy and pulling, kind of like pulling back with the handcuffs, choking him out. One of the slaves did that. Kind of gruff, somewhat beard, long hair covering his face, choking out the kind of pervy guy. I really need to give these guys names. Choking out the kind of pervy raider. So, chaos is currently ensuing as now, as there is shouting and almost practically drums are playing in the back. If you could imagine heavy metal music and drums start to play, that's kind of what's going on. As that happens, the arrow, by the way, whizzes by and clips the archer, doing 4 points of damage. Kind of,
The sniper.
yeah. As he's kind of looking through his scope after the shot rings out, a large piece of wood out of nowhere. Do you have bloody mess, by the way?
I do.
You do? Nice.
Yes, I do.
The bow shreds into his shoulder, making a sickening crack as blood starts to pour out, and he's holding himself. You can almost see the blood drain from his face as he's grinding his teeth, ripping out the arrow.
And leaving shards of wood in his arm
Exactly.
or wherever the arrow landed.
In his shoulder.
In his shoulder, so I guess
Great job
arm
on
would.
that one. Let's see. Sniper, 4 points of damage while he wasn't really wearing any armor. Let's see what happens next. Next, it's the Raider's turn. Unless Jackson wants to do something, but he is currently off saying prayer. So, maybe it's time to... No, it's not time to do that. Never mind. I am sure of what I would like to do. It's just, I would like for Connor to get back before things start to ensue over the hell that is about to ensue over that.
I was trying to not start a firefight. with a bunch of with several well-armed people.
It's definitely gonna be rough. Let me put it that way. I wasn't expecting you guys to shoot at well-armed raiders. I thought me kind of saying they're probably dangerous would, but this makes it
Okay.
way
No one
more
said that we
interesting.
were sane.
That's why I
First,
called you guys a bunch
we
of
just
freaking
woke up.
psychos. You guys are awesome.
We just woke up from cryo sleep. You expect us to be sane?
Man,
This isn't a video game.
When adrenaline pumps through your veins, I guess this is what starts to happen. I guess Jackson really won't do anything for right now. She's kind of sitting in the corner, flicking her switchblade in and out, kind of smile on her face, waiting for things to ensue. How about you guys? After firing, seeing blood spill, how do you feel?
How do I feel?
Yeah, how does your
Probably
character feel?
disappointed that he didn't die.
Same. Who is... Are any of them still visible?
They are. They're scattering currently. As they're all moving, are you going to do something? Because I will say what the raiders do first. So, is there something small that you would like to do? Like say something to Lucinda or something along that nature, or do something like very small, since you've already taken your shot, or what would you like to do? Just
Definitely make sure we're hidden.
I'm going to leave the vicinity of where I fired from.
Yes.
Because where the arrow came from, they're going to go looking in that direction first.
Yeah.
Before they've spread out, because
right.
it
So
makes sense in my head.
yeah, they would definitely ensue where the gunshot and the arrow came from. So they're probably going to close in on that location fairly quickly. War pups kind of clambering over like windows or rushing in that direction, but you guys are around 4 houses down. So one is in the supermarket and he's bursting out with a shriek of violence and smashing through the glass. But do you guys want to exit your building and move to another building, or what do you mean?
Sneak away from the building we're in,
Okay.
because all of them are heading this way.
Okay, so you guys,
Okay.
I'm going
Right.
to say Jackson
They're all
moves
heading-
with you, because obviously that would be kind of rude if she didn't come along. So, are you guys going further houses down, or are you guys going to the second row of houses to your left?
See, all the houses have fences around them, right?
Very, very short white picket fences, yes. They're quite short.
And they're
They're like waist height, probably.
I'm going to go out the back door
Okay.
and kind of get behind the fence
Sure. Yeah, that'll work.
and kind of sneak up, like, instead of going farther away from them, I'm going to kind of head towards them
Oh, okay.
to the next
Yeah, sure.
building over,
Okay.
Towards the, like...
towards the truck,
Yeah.
the semi.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
that's what I was thinking.
Okay, so you guys move to the houses closer, and now you are in a little bit more of an intact gray house. Do you guys move inside of it or the fence, like you were talking about? Sorry.
If we're behind the next house over,
Mhm.
I'm going to kind of go over to continue along the back edge of the house and go around to the side and peek around
Okay.
to see if anybody saw us
Okay.
or if anybody's close to that building.
I will do a thing then. Nobody is going to see this thing, hopefully, but I'll go with this. Sure. Okay. Sure. Yeah. It doesn't seem anybody has seen you, as they are kind of clambering over. You can kind of as you peek, you do hear from a few houses down someone rushing and jumping over the white picket fences. But your house is a little bit smaller than the one closer, so it seems like that one. Whoa! Who was that?
It was Adam.
Yo, dude, podcast. Come on. Whoa. Hold on. What time was that? I gotta edit that out. That was really, really bad. So 41 minutes and 22 seconds. God damn it. I don't want to do editing, guys. Come on.
Especially only 4 minutes in.
Okay, so 40 minutes. I swear. That sort of stuff. I'm sorry. Anyways. In 3, 2, 1. Anyways, everybody, sorry for that little cut. Just had to get rid of a sound. A very strange sound. But, on back to explaining what is going on. Hopping over the fence is to your right, because you are currently looking towards the truck. You can tell someone is running in your direction from the white picket fences. The only reason you can't see them and they can't see you is because there are a few houses down, and the house to your right is bigger than the one that you guys are kind of like close to. So they can't see you because of that. So you can definitely tell someone is rushing in your direction. So would you like to enter the house?
Is it just one person, and are they coming around the back or around the front?
The back.
And it's only one person,
Yeah,
right?
one person. The rest are hauling out in the front. There's a ton moving out front. Not that building, but they're rushing towards that area, to the house you guys were at. They're full on hauling, like sprinting fast to that house's general area.
Maybe
The
we
house
should.
you just came from.
Yes, where you guys came from.
Sorry, I'm trying to
Yeah.
get a feel of the situation. So there's one guy running towards us. I'm going to sit and wait with my makeshift spear.
Oh, makeshift spear. Okay.
Well, it's the pole thing.
Yeah.
I'm just calling it a makeshift
No.
spear.
That's way better sounding than
Pretty much
pole.
what it is.
That is what I would call it too. So makeshift spear. Let me look at the weapons currently, as they're somewhere here.
There's a spear, and then there's a sharpened pipe or sharpened pole.
It would be the sharpened pole. So 1d4 plus 1. You are Lucinda. Okay, we will call this
I am Lucinda.
sharpened pole. But this is, you did get it off of your back, by the way. It's just plus 1. AP cost, we're just not. Anyways, let's do that. Oh crap, you can fire multiple times. I just thought of this. This system uses AP. Oh, okay. So everybody, my mistake with the system is this system uses AP, which are action points. Each character has a viable sum of it. While games like Shadowrun and other systems that I am very much more used to uses something like attack and a move option, they have AP. They can use as much as they care about to put towards that. Their AP right now, oh gosh, let me just look real quick. Their AP, one of them is 8, that's you, Lucinda, and Belinda is currently 8. So, I'm gonna say a shot's 2 for now. So, you took one shot, moved a few meters. I would say you guys have another 2 action points. So, I will have you wait with the sharpened pole. So that's fine. I'll say as he just waits around the corner, you use those extra action points to just gore him on your spear if it works. I really want to see it worked. I don't want to be that guy right now.
I really want to see
I
it work
really want
too.
to see it work, especially with
Because
bloody mess.
I'm waiting to ambush him with a piece of sharpened metal.
It's pretty gnarly. It's pretty metal, I would say.
It's pretty metal.
Yeah.
Hardy har har.
Hardy har har. Please roll. I want to see what happens.
The sharpened pole.
Yes. You're sharpened.
Is it all filled out?
Yep. I put it in the right hand just because I'm.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's easier than trying to switch out everything.
So the way I'm playing this, everybody, is I am playing this kind of by looking at the roll, looking at the situation, as I am more of a storyteller rather than a mechanics crunch person who loves all the mechanics and goes by everything what they say. And fairly, I haven't read I've read all of the stuff, but it's really in depth. This is a crunchy game. This has a lot of rules, a lot of things, and in the beginning, it does say, take away what I need to take away to make it flow better. And this is a podcast. I want it to flow. I want it to go very, very well. But we're very actually close to ending it. A little bit. Hold on. Let me move Jackson back to her initial spot because I forgot to. Poor Jackson. He rolled a 52 and dealing 2 points of damage, but these are grunts. This is going to be...
I rolled 5 compared to 52.
Yeah. So
did I roll the 52 or was mine rolled 5?
It's okay. So it says 2 points of damage, but the way I'm going to be using this is grunts are one hits just to make it a little bit more thematic. But the thing is the grunts are going to be able to hit really, really hard, so that battle kind of just...
So they're like a glass cannon?
Yeah, they're glass cannons, essentially. It's going to roll a little bit better instead. Where did I get this from, you may ask? I got it from Roll For It. When they did their D&D campaign, he did this. Splattercat did this, and it made everything just so much better and made combat not 5 hours long, because we don't have that. We have an hour. So,
yeah.
It's going to flow just a little bit better. Spear vaults over the fence, and you kind of in a Spartan-like position sit yourself down on one knee, and being as tiny as you're actually not that small. Just setting yourself on one knee, posting up with the...
Wow.
Sorry. I'm just having, like, tiny characters, as of Metal Gear and so on, and I think everything is a lot smaller than they or what it is.
I'm not a,
are.
overly large character.
No, you're just taller than I expected.
5'9" is taller than you expected?
Yeah, I thought you were like 5'4". I don't know why. It's just the height I have set in my head for most female characters. That's what I usually pick.
I'm 5'2".
Oh, yeah, see? It's really hard, man, okay? Give me a break.
I wanted a slightly taller female character.
Yeah, it works. But you post yourself down, like right as the moment he leaps over the fence, half gas mask on, insane crazy mohawk, tight leather garments, probably revealing just a little bit too much, like leather pads on his legs, knee pads, gloves on, 2 axes, like jumping over, shouting, "Witness me!" Shink! Right up his sternum, up his throat, as his head was high, goes right through his mouth, and you vault him over your back. He slides off of your spear, hitting the ground as his jaw makes a sickening crack, and he rolls. Jaw dislocated, cheek ripped, open wound underneath the sternum, pouring out blood as he kind of shambles in his words. "Witness me," spitting out and gurgling out blood. You can definitely see a few front teeth broken from where the spear went through his throat. Front teeth completely shattered in shambles, and blood pouring out of his mouth as well as his chest. He's dead. he's probably not getting back up after that. But as you guys are entertained with the bloody splurt that was a spear going through a man's chest as he vaulted over a fence, you suddenly hear, in a booming roar, "Where is it? Where?" And everything quiets. You peek out, still kind of hidden, and you can see the war pups kind of crowded in the street, looking terrified. And as you peer out into the street, there's a figure in a heavy black cloak, standing around 8 feet tall, hunched over, a large lump upon its back. And it shouts, "Where is it?" "The young one! I left it here to be protected, and now you are here making a petty squabble. Where is it? I will shred you all in half." "Where is the young one?" As this happens, the leader steps out. "Look, we have a problem to deal with. We have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, okay? So how about you get the fuck out of here before we put a bullet in you too? You seem to be a worthy foe. Why don't you join with us?" Surprisingly light for footsteps, it walks in her direction and looks down at her. Or whoever it is looks down at her. "Where is it? It's valuable. I want to know where it is. I left it here. Where?" "Obviously, you're a dumb big oaf. It ain't here, buddy. But you can join us. We'll go look for that thing." And you see the cloak fling off of it dramatically. A pale white deathclaw, standing 8 feet hunched over, stands tall to around 10 to 11 feet. A chain gun on its back. Scars litter its body, and its eyes blood crimson red. Its snow white body accumulating also in a grayish area. It's a gray, snowy white, fitting perfectly with the ashen sky. Its horns long, one chipped, the other almost broken, and it looks down at her. "Where the fuck is it?" She looks immediately thrown back, scared almost. "I don't know. Look, I don't really know what you're looking for. I don't know where it is." Even the guy who's currently still choking out the other one, like still tightly wrapped with his handcuffs around the other guy, and as that one is like salivating and spitting out spit, and currently one is being knocked out as the other is still holding tight but listening in, looking down. And he drops the pervy raider, and the gruff man looks up and kind of sneakily walks off and starts letting go the slaves. The white Deathclaw with the chain gun on its back looks down. "You are evil people. I should kill you all where you stand. But this is none of my business. I search for my child. My only child." "Fine." It puts back on the cloak and starts walking toward the war boys.
I wonder who has the child.
Shut up!
And as he gets halfway toward the war boys, he reaches on his back, flips out the chain gun, and you hear a and bullets spray.
Oh yes.
Did he just...
Destroyed everybody.
They all die?
Actually, no. The man on the ground, currently salivating out of his mouth because of being knocked out, bullets riddle him and gore flies, turning him into nothing but chunks of meat and bone. The sniper, kind of like still picking shards out and looking through his scope, bullet through scope, through face, through chest, essentially turns him into goo. The leader hops beneath the truck, and the gruff slave, letting out the other slaves, tells them to get in the back as he hops on top of the truck and starts running for the front of it. Multiple bikes being shredded apart by what is essentially a grinder. But just as it slows, he looks back to the war pups, their eyes large, and they put their hands up to the sky in the interlacing of their fingers, and they shout, "Witness me," and they run forward. And one of them, probably the more smarter of them, runs particularly to your house and opens the door and jumps in, and another bullet spray, bodies pile, gore floods the street, and many bullets. It takes a big smell as smoke trails off of it, off of the minigun, the Vulcan cannon. I love that smell. Cracks its neck and continues to walk forward. Then it stops and looks over to your guys' house. Come out, piggies. Come out, rabbits. I won't turn you into meat if you come on out. Walk out and you won't die. I may even...
Think we should listen?
What?
Think we should listen?
Yes.
Okay, let's go out.
Can I please know how you walk out? I really am interested on how every single character's looks on their faces. I would really just like to know.
Oh, you
I
just
walk-
like the looks on the face?
Yeah, what is the look upon all of your faces? Sorry. My English.
I'm gonna have an uncharacteristically serious look for my character on her face when she walks out,
Okay.
instead of being like the usually like bubbly,
Of course.
kind of hyperactive that I'm trying to portray her as.
Yeah.
Anyways, just gonna like have like a serious look on my face and as I walk out.
While holding my gun in one hand, I'm gonna have the other wrapped around the baby Deathclaw, and my face is set in like a protective glare.
Aren't I in a different house?
No, you follow.
No, you're with us.
So yeah,
I was kind enough to have...
He brought you with us.
I brought you with him.
we just kind of dragged your unconscious body with us.
Oh, unconscious.
No, you're
oh,
not.
Okay.
You weren't
You're
un-
fine.
you're not unconscious.
You were holding a switchblade and smiling, so you're fine.
Wow, big. Okay, I'm just gonna walk out with a alluring face.
Oh God.
Wait, what?
With an alluring face.
He's trying to seduce Deathclaw.
Do it.
Oh, I love it.
No, don't do that.
Okay.
No.
Do it.
No.
One. You know what? You all described your looks perfectly. It smiles. It has a big sneering grin. And it laughs. And it chuckles. And it puts the minigun on its back. And he looks towards the leader and the guy with the foam mask. And he goes, "Get on a motorcycle. Leave. Regroup with who you are with. I heard you talking. Okay? Go. Or would you like to be turned into cheddar?" The leader, crawling out from underneath the truck, tears in her eyes, runs, gets on a motorcycle, pats the back, and the foam-headed masked person holding his chest kind of walks, grunts, and gets on the back, and they head off. Now, before...
As they drive away, can I just launch an arrow at the guy with the foam head on?
You know what? Go for it. I want to see if it hits. You're shitting me! No! Oh my god!
Just as like a fuck you type of
God
message.
damn it.
Just-
Fuck important characters and shit, right? God. Bow shoots. Hits the torso. And he slumps over on the bike. The Deathclaw, the smile kind of turns into a smirk. Weird on a giant lizard's face, but you know, who's gonna make fun of the giant lizard holding a minigun, and is almost 2 times bigger, 3 times bigger than all of you. Or 2. Yeah, I think 2's about right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'd poke fun at it just as like a
Oh, yeah.
friendly messing around with it, but
He definitely seems
not
like
exactly the smartest in this-
a friendly type. You don't have a very kind heart. Well then. I gave them mercy for a reason, friend. Why that one out of all of them? What made your choice?
he was already shot. I just figured I'd put him out of his misery.
He may not be dead. He definitely looks hurt, though. Close to death.
Such a shame.
I would say indeed, but really, everything's a shame in this world. You look like pups, new. You don't have that glaze over your eyes.
We just woke up.
Woke up.
What was it? A couple hours ago? Yeah, we were in one of the shelters in the cryo rooms.
More interesting by the minute. My name is Alabaster. And a massive hand comes out of his cloak.
Are we close enough to shake hands?
You guys are a little bit far away, but he is, letting it in, kind of like you guys can walk toward him and shake his hand.
Okay, well, I'm going to put my weapons away and walk up and to shake his hand.
It's a very big hand to shake. It's.
I will shake his finger.
Yeah, that's probably more like it. His thumb and his finger kind of just go up and down with the both of you.
Yeah.
You still see the guy, by the way, with the scruff and the beard running across the top of the truck, grabbing the hunting rifle, opening the door of the truck and sliding in and turn on the truck, and you hear do 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 do. And it doesn't start. And he just hits his head up against the dashboard. God damn it! Why the fuck do people keep putting kill switches on these things? Fuck. And we will leave it there.
You son. You know what? I'm fine with that. I thought like you were gonna leave it when the guy jumped over the fence and landed on my spear, but you know.
I wanted Alabaster to come in. Alabaster is probably one of my favorite creations.
Well, at least he didn't end it like he ended the other ones.
Shh, people might not have watched it. It's okay. We don't talk just for...
I never
No,
even
I know. For everybody who's wondering what he's talking about, go watch World of Darkness if you like stupid, insane cliffhangers that leave you want to die. I have literally put Anthony through a hell with his character. Connor is just...
Take this sharpened pole and shove it up your ass for that right now.
See that? See that rage? You should go watch World of Darkness to see that rage really...
It's not a burning rage. It's more of a cold fury.
There you go.
Just
yeah, cold fury.
Doesn't
good.
peace will never be put out and will always be waiting in the darkness to kill you.
Well, by the way, everybody, I forgot to make a few announcements at the beginning. We are thinking about doing a few different little RPGs here and there. First, we got this one, Fallout. Then we have Metal Gear. And I know I've been a little bit late on Metal Gear. It's been a lot. But to add on to that, we may be doing something that's a little bit interesting. I'm not going to say it, but it's a 2-page, or it depends, 1 or 2-page RPG, where actually maybe Connor or Anthony will be GMing. We will all be kind of taking one-shots at it. Similar to how Metal Gear is, or Myrtle Gear is 2 pages, these are a little bit more thought out. Like, way more thought out. So, just to let you guys know, if you guys like Cyberpunk or Hotline Miami, nudge, nudge, that's what's going to be coming. And I will be giving the PDFs for them all in the description just because they're so nice and people put time into them, even if they are 1 or 2 pages. Other than that, I just want to tell you guys I am trying to work on something, game system, but I don't really know what to do. I don't really know how to do all that and make it all super awesome because, you know, it's a little bit difficult. I don't know where to start. And, you know, if you're interested, just tell me and, you know, I'll get you in on that project. The more help, the way cooler it will be. So, anyways, this has gone on a little bit late, but it's been pretty awesome. I thought, guys, my notes was a half a page this time. And that ran smoother than almost anything has. Just to let you know.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So.
I just remembered that I don't have school tomorrow.
Same. So.
Why don't you have school tomorrow?
Fall break.
Fall break is a thing.
You.
I thought we had school tomorrow.
I have to go to work tomorrow. God damn it.
You
Loser.
poor bastard.
Can I go back to school for a week?
I can tell my mom. Yes. Then she can't yell at me anymore.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it
So, everybody.
was a blast.
It was a blast. Well, everybody, I also stream every once in a while, but just you know, I'll mention it, Top Hat Ferret Games, but you know, this is the gem right here. All right, everybody, I tip my top hat to you, and you know, ciao, au revoir, and bye bye.
Bye.